Hello, you are very welcome to episode 5 of the This Is Knit Live podcast. My name is Lisa. I'm coming to you from Dublin, and tonight I will be joined by we have special guests, Lisa, Jenny.
Hello.
Jenny on this side and Anne Michelle on this side. And we're here to tell you about a very special festive project that we've been working on together for a couple of months now, and delighted to have it released today. Woohoo! Say hello to the world. So I'll let you go off while I do a little bit of the whole intro, and we will get back to that very special announcement very soon. So if it's your first time joining us, what we do here at This Is Knit Live is a variety of things. Generally, we're here to take your questions. We're here to catch up with you guys, tell us about what you've been up to. We have a series of tutorials coming your way. This time in this episode it's part 3 of a Sewing Up Your Knits series, so make sure to stay tuned for that, and we get to show you a little bit about what's new in the shop as well. So it's nice to see it. Online shopping is great, but there's nothing like kind of having somebody put together projects and ideas for you and inspiration as well. So the other thing that we've got to talk about, it's unavoidable, the season of gifting is coming, so we do also have our gift guide has gone live on our website, and between myself and Jenny and Anne Michelle, we're going to be choosing some of our favourite features from that, or what we'd like to find under the tree this year, correct? Correct. So it's lovely to see you all joining us. We've got people joining from Switzerland, Zurich and Oregon and Australia. It's great to have you joining live, but if you are watching back as well, do absolutely leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think about the podcast. Let us know what you would like to see us do here. We did take, I think, only 1 or 2 questions pre-submitted, so we might have a little bit of time to get into that. I'm going to go with, because I've seen a comment popped up, which is, I miss Joy. Oh, we all miss Joy. We really do as well. Joy is going to be back. It's really, really soon. She's taking a little bit of an extended break. Oh, sadness. But coincidentally, she did pop in to say hello to us early on today. And in her absence, I have, what has Joy been knitting lately? Even though she's not here. She's probably going to jump in on the comments, I hope. But let's see. So what did Joy finish lately? Wait until you see it, guys. My goodness. You might have seen this on her own Instagram page. She is WorldJoy55 or WorldJoy, definitely there. So this is the cowl, this year's cowl, completely finished. As my husband tries to ring me on that. He's the only person who'll get through my do not disturb. Okay, well, hi Ronan, nice, thanks for that. So I don't know if you could hear that actually. Anyway, back to Joy. Joy's absolutely stunning and beautiful project. The Stephen West 2023 Mystery Knit Along, made in her signature blues. And this one, the yarn that she used for this one is, Michelle might grab it for me, was a new one actually that we've gotten from BC Garn, which is Similla Silk Bloom. It is a 4-ply fingering weight yarn. She did add in a little bit of sparkle in there as well, and it is a silk and wool blend, so I just want to show you that. Thank you so much. We'll give you one of them to see, but obviously there's a spectrum of blues, and that caught Joy's eyes. So Samilla Silk Bloom, made with cruelty-free silk, and it is GOTS certified as well. 75% wool and 25% silk. So if you're making something a little bit special for the season, then there's a good option as well. It's gorgeous. Did you get to see it? You haven't seen it? What has Jenny been knitting lately? We haven't shown off here. Actually, we're Ivy lacing here today. We are. Instant Crush.
Instant Crush, yeah. This was my Rhinebeck sweater that I did in 2 weeks, I think.
She won't knit for ages and ages and ages, and then she just comes and goes, there's a sweater.
It has to really grab me like that. It has to be like, I want to knit this. It was the same with my effervescent sweater. I saw it and I was like, that, and knit it real quick.
Absolutely.
So,
fabulous,
no patience.
So.
Yeah. I just get obsessed with knitting it, and then I haven't knit anything since.
No, but Joy is now knitting.
Joy is now knitting this as well. Bit more neon.
Yeah,
Slightly.
Only a little bit.
Similar colours, but a bit more neon.
So, what are we going to have soon? Kits.
More kits.
More.
That's next week's dyeing
Yeah.
escapades.
Keep her busy.
lots and lots of ivy.
Good plan. Good plan. Yes, Instant Crush, beautiful, beautiful sweater, and there's definitely going to be a lot more beautiful combinations of that coming up. Aisling says she is binding off the cowl and she's nearly there. So I'm trying to remember which yarn you used, Aisling. Actually, let us know there in the comments as well. There's more people missing joy. Oh, bless. So listen, there's loads of love, and as I say, she should be back with us in, I think, about hopefully by the next. I will double check that. I don't know what dates are anymore. So fantastic. So that is what Michelle. What have you been knitting lately? Oh. You're here. Well, listen. Let's tell you about what you've been making, will we? Yes. Okay. So every year, actually. What do we do every year with Townhouse Yarns?
We do something that we call the Christmas Cracker. Cracker. It is generally sparkly yarn, something sparkly.
Yes, has to have a bit of shine.
Has to have a bit of sparkle in it. So we've had hats previously. We've done
mostly hats.
Was it all hats?
Mostly hats and different sparkles. Yes. Yeah. So
but this year,
it was sort of the year of the sock, wasn't it? Yes. So Michelle was inspired to make, and without further ado, let's show you right here about the sparkle and what we have going on. So this is, what do we call the socks? The North Bright
socks.
North Bright socks. And I want you to be able to see the sparkle. We were setting this all up ahead of time and trying to make sure that you could see it catching the light, but it's a lot more obvious in this beautiful skein right here. So the Christmas Cracker is a 100 gram skein of Clarendon sock that you would know and love, and this time a 50 gram skein added in beside it in a sparkle sock. So the sparkle sock, Jenny, again is merino.
It's 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% of the sparkle.
And 5% sparkle, and I think it might be a little easier to show. Will you tell us about the socks, Michelle? Yeah. One, it might be showing there. I've got to hand over.
Well, I love socks, and I was really excited when they were talking about a sparkle. So thinking about the time of the year and things that are magical, I often look to nature because there's so much magic there. So when I was thinking of things that shimmer, I was thinking of something that's a little bit elusive here in Ireland, but sometimes if you're lucky you can just catch a glimpse of it, and that's the Northern Lights. And if anybody's interested or that are following, they might have seen that this year is a really good year, actually, coincidentally, to see the Northern Lights here in Ireland. So that's the inspiration for this, and Jenny has dyed up, I think, a beautiful colourway that really captures that lovely movement there in that you can get across the night sky if you're lucky enough.
So lucky. Yeah. We've been out trying to catch them, and I know this year, like there was, you were saying even as far down as Wexford.
Even as far down as Wexford,
and there's been some beautiful pictures emerging out on social media.
Yeah.
And everything of it. But it's such a rare thing, and it's so hard to get. So instead, we're capturing it here in yarn and design form, right?
Exactly.
And I love that these are they're knit from the toe up.
They're knit from the toe up. So just a little bit of colour work here to start. Then you have some nice relaxing knitting. I've used a German short row heel here, but it's really easy to change out for any type of heel if you have a preference there. And then some lovely simple colour work here. This is really good if you haven't done any colour work before, and if you're a pro colour work, it's just a lovely relaxing knit that you can sit with there.
I just when I was looking at the socks and when you were talking about the construction of them and with the whole theme, so these are called the North Bright socks, and the obviously for the ode to the Aurora Borealis, but I imagine that like you're sitting out in the dark sky trying to wait, and you catch a little glimpse, and then you have to wait for ages and ages, and then you're like, is that it? Is it? Yeah, and then it's like it's sort of the burst across the sky, like the reward and the patience and everything. So, but there's absolutely, I mean, they're like a joy to knit, and I think that that progression where you're sort of, you kind of want to get to this other color, you get the taster down here, and then you want to kind of move on and get to the bit more of the fun and the sparkle again up at the top. But there's like really loads and loads of yarn in this set, isn't there?
Yeah.
So go on, show the little mini.
Because there's so much yarn, I've written this pattern for 6 sizes. So if you want to make a little one and a big one for if you have a little person and you want to have matching socks, they're sized. This is terrible now. Can I think of the inches?
Yeah, that's okay. That's inches work as well.
It is 4 inches to 9 in the sizes there. So really tiny, like a little baby size, right through into adult sizes there. Those little guys. This is size 2 and this is size 5.
Brilliant. And they're absolutely beautiful. And I just think like this is the season of wearing matchy things as well. Match sparkle socks. So it's all the win. So in terms of difficulty level, how would we kind of position these with memories? Because usually what comes up is people kind of go, how hard is that to make? Or,
I would say it's, there's a few technical aspects of knitting socks, but, it's kind of beginner to intermediate, I think,
Lovely.
Even if it was a first sock project, I think you could take this on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because where the colour work is happening is, past the toe shaping here. Yeah. So then you're into this is a nice sort of smoothing it around. So you're not kind of combining too many techniques at once. I don't think. Yeah. And then you get like the little the offset sprinkles happening here. Yeah. Before you get into it, it's this. There's more going on up here, but it's also kind of quite a straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward.
Motif.
I've included links to all tutorials to support any of the techniques that are used in this. So we should get you there.
That's it. We're here for the support and everything on technical sides of things as well. A little Ashley saying put a little sock hanging on the tree as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be a little tinky baby size. So
they're really squishy and lovely. So the pattern is available individually on Ravelry now. Yes. But you can get it as the bundle. Your bundle of beautiful yarn and the sock pattern over on the website that's been made live in the last hour, so you can grab it. They are extremely limited edition, Jenny.
They are.
Yeah, she's only got so many hours in the dye studio, so actually they would look beautiful with your sweater here as well. So yes, limited edition for 2023. So if you do want to grab a set, be sure to grab your Christmas cracker very soon, and then you can sparkle your way through the season.
It is so sparkly.
We're trying to go back.
It's such a beautiful shimmer. Yeah.
Let me show you again. We're just going to shimmer it this way and shimmer it that way. That's catching the light beautifully, so you can see. And absolutely the kind of WhatsApps back and forward, Jen, where you were trying to make sure you had exactly the right amount of sparkle in this, or exactly the right amount of the representation of the colours of the Northern Lights as well.
I think I did 4 separate. I did 4 separate batches, and each time I was like, okay, I kind of like this, but it needs to be deeper. And then I tried something else. I was like, okay, that's gone completely the other way now. And so I think on the 4th go, I was finally happy with the effect and how, because Michelle had actually sent me inspiration pictures as well, but it was just getting that right balance of greens and purples. Excuse me. Obviously, I was still thinking about those colours when I got my jumper.
Very much so. Very much so.
But I'm really happy with how it's turned out now, and
so it's just so shiny. And Sally Thompson is saying that it is a great knit-worthy gift, and that's for sure. And you still have time. You have time to get these shipped internationally and everything. They're all ready to go. There's no delay at all. And to get them cast on in knit, I think, before the Christmas season.
Oh yeah, no, they're lovely because it's plain here. There's a lovely bit you can just speed through on the foot. If you're down to the wire with it.
If you're standing in the queues for Christmas shopping, you do all of that. So this is our special announcement today. But we also are happy to take your questions as well. Anything you want to know, obviously, about this or about anything else in the shop. Stay tuned because we do want to show you the Christmas. They turned them off.
No.
I was going to show you the Christmas lights. Oh my goodness. I've got a special request to security, please, for that. So we'll see about showing you the beautiful Christmas lights of Paris Court in a second if they do come back on. They are absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you have ever, if you're local and you come into Dublin around this time of year, we get a very special kind of finish here on the whole centre. Yes, so
They do Christmas lights well in here.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. So, in terms of the gift guide, then, who wants to do their gift first? Anybody? Anybody?
I have them just here.
She's got them just there. All right.
Okay,
So,
grab mine too.
tell us what is on your Christmas wish list as well for this year, and let us know if you have anything special that you'd like to get a hold of. So, Michelle's Christmas wish list begins right here.
Okay. I am definitely in need of a knitting bag. I showed up at a knitting meetup with my knitting in a Ziploc plastic bag. You know, yeah.
I've done that.
Anyway, you know, it's very practical, but it's nice to have something nice. I've had my eyes on this beautiful ochre wax canvas knitting bag. This one's gorgeous. It's the Adele. Bag big enough for a garment project. It's lovely. It has these little clasps there, if you can see it. Opens up. A little Ziploc pocket in there for your notions. So this is lovely. Yes.
And very much your colour. Oh yeah. She was saying her partner doesn't really do YouTube, but big hint. Anybody knows him that knows, and just like send a link. Send a link. Okay. Jenny, do you want to do one? Do. Here she comes.
So, my favourite needles are the Chiagu twists. I love them. I only knit with them. But I only have the half set. So this is the complete set. I can never, ever, ever find the needles that I want or the cables that I want. They're usually all on projects that I haven't finished.
UFOs.
Which there are many. But you know, I don't want to go messing around, and I always lose the stoppers. So I'm like, so this is the complete set. So it goes all the way up to 10 millimeters. At the moment, I only have the one that goes up to 4.5. Five. So yes, the complete set is on my wish list. Husband, don't know if you're watching.
And we do, and actually at this time of year, I get a lot of people kind of saying, okay, what's the right needle set for me, as like whether you're a beginner or intermediate, or what your preferences are for like length of needle tips, all that sort of stuff. So we're going to do a little guide to all the different needle sets. There are many, and to kind of break it down a little bit, to kind of say like pros and cons, or like if your preference is, or even down to your style of knitting as well, how you hold the needles, whether the shorter or the longer tips, because we're seeing a big trend of people really liking the shorter tips lately, you know, so because you can have a bit more literal flexibility with them, because of, when you're attaching them to the cables, you can have more movement if you have the shorter tips. So I don't know if you tried 4 inches, 5 inches tips.
You know the little, the 9-inch ones.
Yes.
For like sleeves.
23 centimeter ones.
23 centimeter ones. I don't like. I've tried.
They're
too small in my hands. They're really like mouse knitting.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I've tried.
People have been saying about knitting like further away from you, holding the tips like towards the back rather than like to kind of flip it a little bit.
Oh no!
You tried? Okay.
I tried.
Okay.
On the sleeves of this, and it just because I couldn't find my mini cable, which is what I usually use for knitting in the round, because it's a lot thinner and a lot more flexible. With
Magic
the
Loop.
Chiagu. Magic Loop.
Yeah.
In the Chiagu range, they have a really skinny one for your minis, and you can get an adapter that they work with your bigger tips. But I could not find my mini cable anywhere, and I did not have time before we went to New York to get one from the shop. So I tried, and then I just reverted back to...
And yet there are people who absolutely swear by them. So I'll do a little demonstration of what those short circulars are and what I mean by knitting on the inside out, and just trying to break it down, because a lot of these sets, maybe they're an investment, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting the right one for you. Yes, so that's coming next week. I was supposed to record it this week. It didn't happen. That's okay. It's all right. See, it's all a very personal thing. So, I can't knit socks yet, but how many skeins for Jenny's sweater?
So this one I used 5 skeins, and I did actually have yarn left over. Now my tension's a bit tight. I did not.
She's
swatch.
confessing.
I'm confessing. Now I did go up half a needle size, but I should have gone up the full needle size when knitting this. So I did knit the 3rd size, but it fits like the 2nd.
There you go. There you go. So
but yes, 5 skeins, 2 of your main colour and 1 of each of your contrast.
And you hold them doubled all the way through.
You do hold them double all the way through. Yes.
Doubled. Do you want to show just a skein of ivy lace so people can see what that's all about? So yes, it's ties in with Maria asking what is the pattern of the lovely colourwork sweater you are wearing. So it is called Instant Crush by Hohi Locatelli, and Jenny held ivy lace, which is one of her own townhouse yarns, skeins. So it's a lace weight but held double using, what did you say, what size needle?
I used a 4.5. I think the pattern required a 4.
Yeah,
I should have gone up to a 5. I'm a super tight knitter.
there you go. All right. And in ivy lace, which is spelled Iveagh, because it's
the Irish version of Ivy. Ivy Garden is what it's named after, which is like it's used as a venue, but it's a
it's somewhere. It's a little bit further south than Stephen's Green. It's like a park, very similar in kind of vibe, but smaller and quieter. And if you're visiting Dublin, it's a good place to go.
So Ivy is a 42% baby alpaca, 35% silk, 13% fine merino, and 10% yak. I always have to read it because it's just so specific.
But it's also
fibre content.
100% gorgeous.
Absolutely. So it's 50 grams, 400 meters. Love it.
Now, and think any tips for bringing the bounce back to the wool? Okay, no, we're okay with off topic. We can do that. So, I'm sorting out my sister's Aran blanket, and I think she's ironed it. Any tips for bringing back the bounce in the wool? Sorry if that's off the subject. No problem. Here for questions today. If it has felted, and if it is 100% wool and it's felted, is kind of quite a little bit you can do. What's worth trying, I mean, I ironed, like, as in flattened the cables, and it's not felted, then I would give it a good old long soak, like even overnight. Like let the fibres absorb back in a lot of water and like just kind of loosen up from each other. A nice bit of a proper wool wash in the mix there. So something like a leave-in wool wash, because it's a full big blanket. You don't want to be kind of having to rinse stuff out.
Aggravating the fibres even more.
Exactly. So Soak or Eucalan, there's a couple of different brands. Soak is the one that we stock. Give that a good old soak, and then like lift it out in the morning. I'd sit it in a big colander or something over a bath to try and drain out the excess water. So it's a bit of an endeavour depending on the size of the blanket, and then roll it in towels like you're making a Swiss roll. Squeeze it down, not too much pressure maybe.
I stand on mine.
You stand and you do a little dance.
Like squishing grapes.
And then lay it flat to dry. And actually, if it's the case that it's not felted, quick update here, not felted, just flat. Good news. That while it's wet, because we talked about this for about blocking Aran sweaters and stuff, is literally pinch the cables, like so you'll take. I could be quite soothing actually, and it is going to take time, but go all the way around and pinch them up, because it's like all of this blocking process of getting something really wet and then drying it is like styling your hair, right? So you set it to the shape that you want it to be when it's dry. Pluck, 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 pinch, pinch. Good luck. Fare thee well. I hope it. Let us know how you get on, okay?
Fingers crossed.
Yes, please and thank you. Gosh, a whole Aran blanket. Aran blanket, not felted. Soggy socks, but Aisling also stands on her blocking towels. You get soggy socks, but it does work well. Yeah, I've done it. I wear my slippers or something. I put it on, but is the Instant Crush sweater difficult?
Okay.
There's a pregnant pause there.
Now, I hadn't knit in a while, and I hadn't done charted knitting for a while. It is fully charted. Initially, at the very start, this first row, I was like, what? But I talked it through with Joy, and you know what? Actually, it was hilarious. I was texting Joy going, I don't understand. Why does it say this? La la la. And then, because she knits a lot of Hohi patterns, and so she was like, I've never had any issues, but she hadn't started hers yet. So she said, what's the problem? So I basically made her a video, and I talked it through. And by the end of the video, I went, oh, never even sent her the video. I like, never mind, got it now.
Once you say it out loud.
I literally had to sit and talk it through.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got it.
Yeah.
So I just had a moment. So, but I wouldn't say it's difficult. Obviously, with any colour work, you need to make sure that your tension is not tight. I turn my colour work inside out and knit it inside out. So the floats have further to travel.
That was a tip from last week we talked about as well. Yeah.
And yes, make sure your tension is correct. And then you're flying, really. You know, but it's so addictive. By the time I got down to the ribbing, I flew through all this, and the ribbing took me the longest because I was like bored.
Oh,
bored.
Bless. Is it just two colours in any one
You're
row?
only working two colours.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
yes.
looks like there's more going on, but no.
No, you're only ever working two colours at a time.
We like it. I really want one as well. I do. It's just so gorgeous and yeah. So, but I'm in my short sleeves. So, we mentioned blocking Aran knitting. Do we have a tutorial? Not on Aran knitting specifically, but on blocking knitting, yes. And on Joy's method of wet towel blocking, especially when you're working with something like a superwash yarn, because they can stretch when you soak them. So we definitely have that, and if you want to drop us an email or a direct message, we just need a way to kind of fire you a link back, but we will we'll include it in the description. Ashling. We'll include in the description our tutorial for wet blocking or wet towel blocking, and then the specifics for blocking Aran would be that pluck.
Yeah, just fluff
push
up those cables, baubles and things like that. Anything that's meant to protrude, just give it a whole thing.
And then you just mentioned blocking Aran knit. Okay, and then you were saying that your tension is loose. If your tension is loose, like what Jenny said earlier on, her tension is tight. So when you swatch.
I didn't have time.
When you swatch.
Literally 2 weeks before we were going, I was like, Rhinebeck sweater.
There we go.
So
when you swatch properly, you would have known that what you needed to do was actually increase your needle size to match the tension of the pattern. Okay? If you are a loose knitter, you're going to have to decrease your needle size to match the tension of the pattern. Okay? We do also have, we'll include in the description, a cheat sheet, a guide, and a flowchart to swatching properly, so that you know exactly that you're on the right track with your tension at the start of the pattern. So worth doing, so very, very, very much worth doing. But it is a case of do as we say.
I think I need that.
Do as we say and not as we do.
Refresh the old memory.
Not as we do. Right, because we've been going tutorial wise, I think now is a good time to share the third part of our tutorial series on sewing up your knits. So I'm going to fire up the video. I did manage to do a little voiceover of it this morning, so I'm going to disappear in this form for a second and just give you the full thing. If what you're going to need to know, or you will have to have followed along on the last two episodes, which was episode 3, we covered mattress stitch. Episode 4, we covered fake grafting, and this tutorial uses a combination of those two techniques, because it's when you're sewing in a sleeve into an armhole. So pop on back to those and come, and we'll make sure that there's a clip link to this exact timestamp on the playback, so you can catch up with where we're at. But in the meantime, sit back. It's about 5-6 minutes, and let me know afterwards if you have any questions, and I can go back over it then. So here we go for our sewing in sleeves. So far in our series on sewing up your knits, we have covered when you are sewing side seams, and that was with mattress stitch, so be sure to check out that video. We will link it down below. And then we have also covered how to sew together your shoulder seams. So it's when the top of your cast on rows meet and come together. And we used a method called fake grafting. The good news is today is that we are going to be combining those techniques. So we're going to have an imaginary sleeve going into an imaginary shoulder. Let's pretend your shoulder seam is there. And we're going to use a combination of fake grafting and mattress stitch to bring them in. Now you can see this is longer than the piece that we have there, but we're going to
tackle that. And the first way we're going to get into it is we're going to mark where our shoulder seam would be. So fold your pieces over in half to make an imaginary shoulder seam, and this piece here, and connect them with a locking stitch marker roughly at that halfway point. Whoops, we don't need to be too strict about that. And then you will see that your piece comes together as well at the top. This is probably going to represent your underarm realistically, and you also have this bit of ease to work in. When you are sewing sleeves into armholes, they often mention in the pattern easing into fit, easing the sleeve into fit. So we're going to cover what that means exactly. Generally, that there's more fabric in the actual sleeve than there is in the armhole. So once again, popping on our contrast yarn, we can undo this initial marker. These, you can have many more of these all the way around your piece that you're sewing, but for now they're just our way markers, and we are only sewing a short piece together. So as we did with fake grafting, get your 2 strands that are coming together, pinching in towards the seam that you're sewing. And then you come over for your mattress stitch element, which is to get the lowest down bar you can find, the lowest rung of the ladder. Okay, if you've been paying attention, you'll know we always go back down into the space where the yarn last came out of, and this is the fake grafting side. So we are going underneath 2 strands, and then again underneath 1 rung of the ladder here. Now, because knitted stitches are wider, they're wider than they are tall, you're going to make progress quicker towards that marker by taking the 2 strands on this side. Which means some of this fabric will be taken in to the seam faster than the fabric on your mattress stitch side. In this case, would be the body of your sweater or your armhole. So keeping an eye on our progress here, occasionally that's lining up nicely, but if we go a little further up, we're only progressing by that 1 row, or that 1 squatter row each time. So again, it's just a little shorter, then these are wider, and you might find that you need to take more than 1 strand occasionally. So I'm just checking, just keeping an eye on that to see, yeah, we're gonna reach there a little faster. So in this case, pull that on out so you can see 1, 2 strands are being taken now to kind of compensate for our progression. And that's okay to do basically anytime you want to even things out a little bit. Just try not to do it all too close together. It really won't be obvious if you just do the occasional 2 bars. Now, so I'm happy that they are sort of lined up nicely, so I can take out this progress marker and give all this a pull. You can do the adjustment to make your stitches line up and look nice and neat and the same tension as the work around. Again, when you're working in the same color, that should look okay. I find that a little hard to do myself. I'm sure it's very possible, but generally, instead, without going too firmly, because you don't want to pucker your fabric, just pull it on up. Then you have your sleeve sewn into your shoulder. So we can finish that off. Tempted I need to loosen out that last stitch that you pulled up just so you can see where you're going. So I'm getting a little further behind here, and that's when I'm going to go and take 2 strands. 2 there. And at the end of the day, we have a lovely seam. all sewn up. Again, pulling without over tightening. Nicely structured. You'll always want to see the back. There's the back right there. Give it a little wiggle and a stretch. And that is one armhole seamed in to the body of your sweater.
So there you go. Okay, hopefully that came across okay, and you could follow along. You'll always be able to come back and to watch it back, obviously, after this. Michelle, let us know what you thought about the tutorial. Did it make sense? Here is the piece here, all sewn in, and it's very, very satisfying. There is a little bit of bulk there, but we were just off screen, come here, having the chats kind of going, do you always knit things in a round? The sweater that you're wearing today is White Mountains.
It's White
right?
Mountains, so this is knit in the round
Yeah.
from the top down, which is so handy for trying on, which I think why that method is so popular at the moment. But it's not always suitable for everything. When you knit flat, you know, those seams give your garment really great structure.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Actually, do you mind if I turn you to the side here for a
No,
second?
yeah.
Is there a faux seam in this one?
There's a faux seam
Yeah.
here. I don't know if you can see that. A
Yeah.
little kind of faux seam along the raglan line here in this one, which is gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lovely little detail. It's a lovely pattern.
But I've seen that
yeah,
happen now more in patterns that are knit in the round, where they actually put in like a pearl stitch every now and again, or you slip the one stitch every second round to give something that sort of sits at the side seam so that your garment doesn't twist when you're wearing it, you know. So it depends on the yarn. But we were also saying sometimes in heavier yarns, like the seams have a roll, right? So of just kind of keeping things a little bit more under control.
Or even for, you know, kind of heavy projects, or, you know, kind of big projects like a cable work sweater. It could be nice to have it broken down into pieces.
Yes.
You know,
You're not carrying the weight.
It feels a bit more bite-sized. You're not carrying the weight of it around, you know.
It makes a lot of sense. So, and even I think we were chatting as well about like for the difference in seams for like baby sweaters, sometimes lighter weight things, definitely it makes sense just to keep things like have grafting or have it as seamless as possible. But if you're making like a big woolly jacket, then something like that, and that is a really nice structured seam to work with. So nice raglan, they're saying it is. It's a lovely pattern, and this particular colour of Studio Donegal, like we all keep coming to. It's a beautiful olive.
It's just a beautiful olive. The light there. It's lovely. It's my favourite sweater at the moment.
I love it. I love it. When did you make it? Was it this year or last year? Or?
At the start of the year. I think.
White Mountains is a very customizable pattern as well. Like it is super. So we did. Thank you for that. Hang on. There we go. More questions. So can I ask, what's the best way to weave in the ends once you seam the arm in? Weaving in ends. Right. Well, sure. Look. Let's pop you underneath the camera here. Sure, why not? Let's do that. Sorry, back to beautiful sparkles. Sorry, Christmas cracker. Pop you out of the way. So again, I'm in the using the contrast yarn here just so you can see what's going on. You have a few options really. Like some people would just tuck the yarn into the seam. Sorry, I'll go this way because it makes more sense to me, and just kind of weave it in and out and be like blah 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 like that. I get a little bit more fussy with mine, and I like to run it in across the back of the fabric here sometimes. I suppose particularly, let's say if tail ends of something that you've been working in the round and you don't have this to hide it into, and also there's kind of enough bulk going on here. I'm not keen on adding to it, let's say. So your option number one is to just pick up your purl bumps at the back here and just go up and down like that, and do that for 2 inches or so. You know, you just want to make sure it's not going to come undone. Your option number two is if you've heard of the concept of duplicate stitch, where you track and follow the path that the yarn takes. Now this might not be under the best light, let's say, but let's see if we can make it a little bit more obvious with the the bright green and the pink. So I'm coming up through here and underneath these 2 purl bumps, and then the yarn that's hiding in behind here, it tracks over and back down in the shape of the stitch, and then it follows again around here, up around there, and I'm going to just keep following the line and the path that the yarn takes in and out. So it's duplicate stitch on the reverse of your fabric, and you follow that for 1 inch or 2. So that is kind of a very quick, we all keep saying quick and dirty tutorial on how to sew in your ends, but even there you go, in the contrast yarn, you're not seeing that come through on this side. And I think it's so funny because that's exactly what we were saying, Patricia, that colour there that Michelle is wearing is the great colour for Irish skin. It is, we were just all going through that. So hopefully that's helpful. Any of the other questions that you have about different tutorials that you'd like to see, just pop them in, we'll add them to the list, and we'll keep doing them here on This Is Knit Live. Now, in lieu of Christmas lights, I'm going to have to show you something else. I wanted to give you a little tour. So this is something, so we had Christmas cracker reveal today. Just squishy, lovely Northern Lights. But there's also another project that we've been working on, Jenny Henny Penny.
We have.
Jenny Henny
She
Penny.
keeps me very busy.
I do. I call you, this is, by the way, in case you're not familiar, Jenny is my sister. Jenny dyes Townhouse Yarns. Sorry, I never did the introductions.
The familiarity in the face.
The wonderful Aunt Michelle works here as part of the team as well, but she designs under the name Thread Softly Designs, so you can find her over on Instagram. She's created the beautiful fishbone mittens recently as well for us, and lots of other beautiful patterns, so I want to make sure that you follow Thread Softly Designs on Instagram too.
And Townhouse Yarns.
Oh, and Townhouse Yarns. And Townhouse Yarns. So what we'll do is we'll show the other project, and then I'll show you what my early Christmas present is. Okay, so what have we been doing, Jenny?
Lots of dyeing miniature things. Minis.
You talk. I'm going to see if this camera is going to work, okay? So, Jenny in the inset. I'm sorry for the vertigo here that you're going to get.
Oh, no.
Okay, so what am I showing people?
So Lisa has been slightly obsessed with this Doodle cowl that we have behind us here. It is a really customizable way of knitting cowls. They have doodle decks for all of your needs. And she had me dyeing lots and lots of different yarns, different options. We were trying to keep it small, but then once again we got carried away. And so we have 4 at the moment main colours, and then we have 14 mini skeins in all different colours, so you can really create your own palette for whatever doodle deck you choose. Sorry, they come in little packs like this, and this one is the autumn doodle deck, and then we've got a summer doodle deck. You know, if you live in Ireland, you can still need a cowl in summer.
Show us those there. Yes, so we will be getting more of the winter and the Rhinebeck ones in very soon as well. But if you're in the shop, what you do is you grab one of our drawstring bags, and you grab one of the beautiful main colour schemes from back here, and then one of 4 minis. Now, if you want to have more of any one particular colour, obviously you can get 2 of one and 1 of another and 1 of another, and then you get all of this, and then you can pick your doodle pattern. There's loads of them in on Ravelry, or you can choose the custom decks as well, and they're a lot of fun, and we put together a few options that are up on the website as well, because this is sort of the in-store exclusive where you can just pick and choose whichever one you like, but over on the website we've done 5 options of ones that we just really, really like the look of. There's one very bored pre-nager in the corner there. She's gonna hate me for that.
She gave her some evil looking looks.
Oh, we are in trouble.
I think this is one of my faves. But this is the next thing I'm knitting. I have the yarn. Now
Yes.
I chose 5 minis.
5?
I chose 5 because
Getting fancy.
there was just I couldn't leave the burgundy out. The burgundy had to
Okay.
take part.
Yes. And which pattern are you doing?
What's the one? What's it called?
The Mountain Doodle one.
The Mountain Doodle. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it is. I think I'm actually going to do the mountain doodle as well. She got it. Yeah. Sorry, I have a few little ones because you can scan them here in the shop as well. So that's the mountain doodle. It's not really going to show
I
up
have
very
very
well.
similar shades, but I added in a burgundy
Into the mix.
into the mix because I just think it gives it a nice pop. And I do
Lovely.
love purple.
You do. So it's a lot of fun. So we said, what does the shop need? The shop needs a minibar. So we created a minibar. There we go. So they are a lot of fun. And they are there a lot of ends to weave in on the Instant Crush? A bit.
Yes.
Yes. Yes is the answer. Yes.
If I said that I didn't weave in all of the ends. Stop it. I did under the arms, I did the cuffs, I did the hem, I did the neckline, but the bits down the side, I did not do.
Floating ends.
But
Floating.
after it was soaked, because I did do a full wet block on this.
Yeah.
It's not a superwash yarn, so they kind of felt it together anyway. So
There you go.
they're kind of stuck.
It's all right. They're not going anywhere. She's still in one piece. The sweater hasn't. And that's like knitters. They're always like, "Oh, show me the inside." It's like, no. Doesn't look good here. It's all good.
These are
that is nice.
my mountain doodle with the cream as my main.
Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. So we'll be mountain doodling together because I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to make two semi-matching ones for my kids because they're doing forest school now. So I think that would be really nice that they'll go out with it. But then forest school is a very mucky place, so I don't know whether I want to send them on with that. Sally is knitting a Winter Skies doodle cowl, and it's so much fun. They really are. This was incredibly addictive to make, but I can't make another Christmas one this year, so I'm going to. That's why the mountain is coming in.
I think like going from this color work obviously just keeps my brain interested. Yeah. So I think once I actually cast on, I will. I just have to wind it.
But you can imagine, like you're seeing something like this, like the little trees emerging. Okay, and I think it's the cast on for the Infinity ones is 120 when you're working on double knit. I think I was only looking at there this morning, but you're going around and you're seeing the starts of this, and it's just you have to keep going. There's no question of like what's bedtime, really. It's just you gotta do mountains. You gotta do when I was making those coffee cups. There was no question of the knitting being put down. It was like until the steam was coming off.
I saw a post on social media there the other day. Now it was to do with reading, but it could go for knitting as well. It was like those 15 minutes I read before bed were the best 3 hours of my day. So it's like those 15 minutes I knit before bed, best 3 hours. It's just one of those, you can't put it down. Next thing it's 2 a.m.
We don't tend to do memes on our social media, but Ankles, you've got to steal that one. Very good. Okay, so what level is the cowl geared towards, and could a beginner do it? So there is two different styles of cowls that you can make. Okay, one is these guys here, which is a double layered infinity cowl. So what happens is you cast on 120 stitches, but it's a provisional cast on, so one that you can undo later and then sew the other end of the cowl too. So that's making like the big reversible tube. But they have standard cowl patterns as well, where it's you cast on and do a rib, and then you work the color work and then do the rib. So like the motif is in this direction instead. Okay, so that'd be probably a little bit less intimidating, maybe. Not saying any of it's super hard, just different, and it takes a little while to learn or to practice on some spare yarn.
Suggestion.
Knit
a cup cozy first.
Yes.
Do a cup cozy, and then that's your practice for your big one.
Because it's 24 stitches, but the motifs are 24 stitches. So yeah, you'd only need really 20. It depends, really. Cup cozy, yeah. You can do the repeats. You get Jamie Lomax or Pacific Knit Co is the designer, and she has specific cup cozy versions there as well. So you can totally play around with it. You can use these motifs for a hat as well. I've seen people put them into
sweaters.
Yeah, the yokes of sweaters and
socks.
Lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. hang on now. Sarah says, I'm doing different doodles to make doodle fingerless gloves, and the mix and match between the different packets is really nice to be able to do. Yeah, I love the idea of just shuffling and kind of go 1, 2, 3.
Next.
There you go.
So
good. So good. So there we go. Tutorial for knitting 2 colours without cutting yarn. So if you're striping, yes. There are ways of carrying colours up as you go. For something like where your pink is there and then pink is down here, I wouldn't be carrying it. Like you're just gonna have to. You're
risking it bunching.
Yeah.
If you try and carry it down, I wouldn't. I just unfortunately, what I had to do was just snip and.
Or you can learn something like the weaving Stephen method, something where you end up where you don't have ends, right? Or it doesn't really work for 2 colours, the split splice method. You need to join it then. But there's a couple of different methods where it's just kind of like learn how to weave in as you go. If you really don't like kind of leaving it all to the end. I don't mind it. You sit down for an evening in front of a program and just go, it's a weaving night, you know. So, but it is a very personal thing as well. So,
like if I hadn't have been under such a time constraint, I would have weaved them all in. Which side was it?
Oh God! Go on, confession time.
Just hang around
there. There's no.
Do you know what I did do? I plaited them.
You practice your French plait methods, you know.
I just plaited them very wildly.
Very good, very good. Sierra, her latest is the Arctic Nights cowls, the specific Nico. It's beautiful. Penguins, polar bears, they're gorgeous. I think that's the one that Mum is going to do. So you can see we're all addicted, right? So hence the pick and mix right behind us. And what are you holding with the ivy lace on the Instant Crush? You're not.
It's literally just 2 strands of ivy lace held together. So
lovely.
You get a really nice fabric. It's gorgeous. It's like a hug.
You could throw in a bit of sparkle.
Oh yeah, absolutely could. It's just 2 lace weights held together.
And this yarn here, thank you very much, my beautiful assistant here in the corner, the Stellaris from Kremke Sobel is a really, really, really fine thread of sparkle that you can carry along with anything, and it really doesn't affect the tension at all. Might have made yours a bit better.
Probably.
Might have. But you could hold that in with so that's Stellaris from Kremke Sobel.
Well, look, it's a sample anyway, so like it
fits you. It's beautiful.
I aggressively blocked it.
Aggressively.
I think it took me about 2 hours. Excuse me. Because I kept on going, measure. No, not quite. Come on, stretch a little bit more.
But that's the beauty of working with natural yarns. You can get it happen. Yeah.
And again, it's not a superwash yarn, so if it had been superwash, it would have given me extra.
It would have. Yeah.
It's not superwash, so.
There you have it. So I'm going to let a few more questions come in if anybody's got anything else to talk about. But okay, this is not very exciting. Well, it's exciting for me, but like to show you a box. Not really good. So this is my early Christmas present to myself, which is an Ashford blending board, because I don't know if you're looking at our Instagram stories, but I have been heavily back into my spinning lately, and I've always wanted to. I have a stash of, it's all about sparkle, right? I have a stash of Angelina fibres at home that I've like, you're looking, I see your eyes light up, wants to come play. But they're little tiny sparkly fibres that you can add into your own fibre blends that you make for spinning. So this is what's going to, there will be a heavy sparkle blending fibre features coming up in the next little while. But just to let you know, the time is ticking down on if you want to get any particular Ashford products in for your wish list for the season. We can order in spinning wheels, drum carders, any of those lovely items, and any of the looms or loom accessories that you need as well. So just drop us a line or check them out on the website and we'll get them in for you. But we are on the 16th of November, so time is ticking down. I completely agree with you, Sally, that the Doodle cowls are like potato chips, or crisps as we call them here. You can't eat just one. No way.
Especially if they're ruffles.
Ruffles. Her favorite potato chips are Ruffles from the States. You can get them here now.
Oh, you can, but they're so expensive.
They're expensive enough in the States.
Were they? I think I had 3 bags of them while we were in New York.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It was
Yeah.
always the same.
It was.
Like, I think I was talking to Mum, you were in the house, and she was like, it's grand, we have ruffles. Yeah.
Happy days, happy days. I do have to give you one question that we took, which was from Patricia, where she was asking about the garden shawl from, and no, not the garden shawl, the garden cardigan. Come on up. Here we go, garden cardigan, and I'm just going to share the screen so you can see the pattern that we're talking about here. There we go. Hopefully that will come up. Okay, so this is the beautiful garden cardigan by AskThisIsKnit, and what you're doing is holding two lace weight yarns together to produce this pretty, and it has a hidden pocket in with the lace. Very nice, secretive, lovely stuff. Oh, the sharp intake of breath is good, isn't it?
With women in pockets.
Pockets.
Yeah,
It has pockets. It has pockets. But
I
you were
got pajamas the
asking.
other day with
Yeah.
pockets in the trousers.
Oh no, that's next level. Next level. Yes. So you just get this disembodied voice coming from Michelle here. So come here. So we were being asked about. Sorry, as I reach. Do you want to tell people about the pretty yarns? So it's two lace weights held together, and these were two that I thought might work. If you want to tell people what they are, then I will get the next ones. Thank you very much.
So I have Trinity 2-ply here. This is merino and silk, so beautiful, the little luster there.
Yes.
And Abbey lace, which is kid mohair and silk in Iha, the colourway. Beautiful, lovely navy there.
Absolutely gorgeous. I'll just do them underneath there.
Yes.
So yeah, just to give it the kind of two-tone effect, you could always hold obviously either that doubled or this doubled, but I think it's nice to kind of add a little
Yeah, I love that
shift
when
in
they're
colour.
slightly different. It's beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. So another option in the golds, we have baby alpaca from BC Garn, which is kind of a heavy lace weight, but I think that you could get away with it in this case, mixed in with Kremke Soul Wool Silky Kid. So that is colour 122. And this is shade, they do these funny ones, 10_097. So they would be absolutely super, again, with the sort of shifting tones mixed in. And then the final, slightly more wild option on the blue. Oh,
I had to throw the sparkle in there.
there she goes. But really, any of those blues that we showed already, I might line them back up again. But the Kremke Soul Wool Silky Kid in 07091. Or Camera Rose Midnight Sol in the shade Marine Black. Could I just have those other two blues? Thank you so much. Because you could mix any combo. This is quite dark actually, so you could brighten that up, mix those two together, add in sparkle, get a Christmas cracker, mix those in, make your secret pocket in a sparkle. That's what you could do. I like that. Garden Cardigan secret pocket in all sorts of good things. So I think that is us for today. Hello and thank you for everybody who's joined us. And we have just one more tutorial request for the future, which is tutorial for different methods of joining in new yarn. You've seen so many methods and never know what to use when. Okay, so we can do a little compare and contrast on that as well. So we will firmly add that to the list. And thanks for the suggestion. If you're watching back, you don't have to wait until, or you don't have to be on live. You can always leave us comments about other things that you'd like to see. Thank you again for joining us. I know we were sort of telling you lots of new things that have come in, but it's just that time of year we want to kind of share all the goodies and all the treats that you can put on your wish lists for this season. So that is us for today. One last time, I'll just talk about the Christmas cracker and the gorgeous matching socks that you can get. Matchy. I like the idea of little baby socks.
Yeah.
So cute. So they won't be back. Limited edition. Nab one while you can for these sets. Thank you so much and have an absolutely lovely evening. It's bye from them.
Bye from us.
Bye.
And it's bye from me. Take care. Bye from the cranky teenager as well. Take care, everybody. Bye.